Out of the Woodlands, Texas. Top of the order. And Cooper Prince takes ball one. Prince 0 for 1, flied out on the first pitch of the game.
Z
was leading hitter for West Georgia last season. And top 10 in all offensive categories in the A-Sun, showing off why there. As he tiptoes off second and watches Brady McDivitt take strike one. McDivitt 0 for 1, flied out to right his first trip. Transfer from Chipola, one of the best junior colleges. Sack bunt here in front of the mound, barehanded by Sharp. And a strong throw to first, the job done by McDivitt.
That was a textbook bunt by McDivitt to move Prince over to third. And I mean, right to Sharp, which is kind of a tactic, him being a left-handed pitcher. He's got to turn his entire body around to then make that throw to first.
First pitch fouled into the West Georgia dugout by Patrick McCullough. McCullough hit by a pitch his first time up. 2-0 Tennessee. Vols took an early lead thanks to a 2-run homer in the first. And now the Wolves 90 feet away.
Now by number 17, Carter Vitello.
West Georgia is giving Tennessee everything that they've got here. Again, we haven't really seen a lot of powerful hits, but just a string.
Stands in for a 1-1 count. Deerdorf does have maybe the most of that pop in this Wolves lineup. And on the 1-1, he takes strike two. Sharp kicks 2-1 in baseball. About as good as you can ask for. In the 70s and sunny here in Knoxville for the final game before conference play starts this weekend. Tennessee and West Georgia meeting for the first time in either program's history. Bottom of the third, Hunter Ensley takes ball one. Brendan Parks, the senior left-hander, back to work, came in, did a nice job. Strand and the bases loaded. Back in the second. Ensley walked and scored his first time up. And on the 1-1, takes outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Parks goes in with that off speed that he just threw about a ball off the plate the previous pitch. Trying to mess with Ensley's timing here.
No fishing there. The count runs full. Parks, one of the most experienced arms on this West Georgia roster. Started his collegiate career at Kennesaw State, now his second season out in Carrollton. As Ensley gets a piece. Hunter Ensley, the only senior in this batting nine. And he's aboard for the second time. Walks.
This pitch gets away from Parks, just way up and out. Actually, nice job by Cooper. Keep keeping that ball in front.
And now faces Andrew Fisher, who homered his first time up. Ball with no strikes. Fisher now 7 home runs on the season, 18 RBIs.
What I think is incredible is the amount of walks that he has already.
Yeah.
22 walks already to only 8 strikeouts. You're going to talk about somebody that's got a really great eye.
First season in Knoxville for Fisher, transferred in at Ole Miss, started every game for the Rebels last year as a sophomore. He was second team All SEC. Led the team in all those power numbers. And part of a really good mix for Tony Vitello, a team that lost 6 offensive starters plus 10 primary pitchers. And he has retooled thanks to the transfer portal and a stellar freshman class.
And I think that is one of the strongest characteristics of Coach Vitello. I think he's just such a good recruiter, and I think his personality makes people want to play for him. He is one of those fiery coaches, and several of his players have said he cares so much about us and cares so much about the game. It fires us up, and it makes us want to perform well for him.
8th season for Tony Vitello as Fisher can't stay back, called strike anyway. Tony Vitello over 300 wins at the helm of the Vols, has taken this team to the top of the college baseball mountain, defending national champs. But he and this roster know it as good as anybody. Once that first pitch is thrown in 2025, 2024 is behind you. This is a new team. This is a new year. This is a new challenge.
100%. And it's hard because so many people are asking the question, how do you repeat what you did last season? And it's not really how do we repeat it. It's how do we take what we have and just elevate it? How do we become even better than we were in the previous season? And you don't want any team to be the same as the one before. You want to continue to grow and continue to add on.
One of those big pieces that were added on. Fisher corks it foul into the net. Best start in program history for Tennessee. The Vols 16-0 here to begin the 2025 campaign. Good battle here at the plate. Another 2-2, and Fisher skies it high in the air to left. McDivitt battling the sun underneath it. 1 out.
Not the result he wanted, but not a bad at bat. He saw a lot of pitches, made Parks work a little bit.
One on, 1 out for the freshman, Levi Clark. And Clark takes ball 1. 0 for 1, grounded out his first time. Freshman out of Marietta, went to Walton High School down there. Hit almost .430 his senior season. Playing in a big classification down there in Georgia high school baseball. And could become one of the next great catchers in Tennessee history. Catcher by trade. Let's see if he gets any action behind the dish this season, but so far settling in offensively. As that pops out of the mid of Cooper. No movement from Ensley. What do you remember about your freshman season when you first started playing at this high level? How did you get so comfortable so quickly?
It wasn't quick. It wasn't quick. I was just kind of thrown into it. At the time, there were only 2 pitchers, myself included, and so it was basically, hey, you're either going to get in there and you're going to get this done, or you're not going to win very many games. And so it was, I used the strategy of really fake it till you make it type, you know, and I had a really great teammate who was a upperclassman, and she really helped me build that confidence and runner in scoring position.
So 2 on, just 1 out here for Reese Chapman. As Chapman takes ball 1. Walked his first time up.
That's one of those swings where you just thank the Lord that they didn't make contact because that was going a long way.
Let's see if Parks goes back to it. The left-hander's 1-1 pitch. Another pretty off-speed, 1-2.
I think that's Parks' strategy, is just to continuously mix those speeds and try to keep these Tennessee hitters off balance.
Time called by Matthew Bates, home plate umpire.
Parks gets Chapman on that breaking ball.
Left crime out of Brendan Parks. And the senior does his job. Keeps this Tennessee offense off the board. Hands the ball off to the next. New arm coming into the game. Cameron Diamond takes over as the switch hitting catcher Cannon Peoples flips over to the left side and tries to add to this 2-1 Tennessee lead. Diamond deals. Ball 1. Peebles 0 for 1. Bounced out back to the mound his first time up. He's got Hunter Ensley at second, Levi Clark leading off of first. Ball and a strike.
And I know it's only the 3rd inning, but other than that home run, Tennessee has been pretty quiet offensively, not something that we have seen often.
And not a lot of barrels.
Yeah.
Big credit to this West Georgia staff so far. Diamond trying to keep that rolling. That's it right to the shifted Bowman. And just like that, the 3rd inning comes to a close. Camden Diamond does his job. We're through 3 in Knoxville, West Georgia. 2-1 Vols, 4th arm for the orange and white, as Thomas Crabtree takes over and gets a swinging strike on his first pitch. Crabtree, the sophomore out of Collierville, Tennessee, transferred in from Pearl River Community College. He's facing the 5, 6, and 7 spots. Landon Widener in the box for West Georgia. This is appearance number 4 this season for Crabtree. No record, 2.45 ERA and 3 2/3 innings of work. Just 1 run across on 3 hits, 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. Closing in on 9 strikeouts, 2 and 2 on Widener.
Struck out 105 batters, becoming the first pitcher in program history to eclipse 100 strikeouts since 2008. So
Wow.
Definitely a big get there for the Volunteers. And again, already 9 strikeouts on the season and not a whole lot of innings.
Blake Bradford skies it way up there. Dean Curley in shallow left. Corrals the second out.
And that was a tough play to make. You could see Curley just consistently having to move his feet back and forth with the way that the ball was tailing. Also probably getting caught up in the sun there.
Early start, 4:30 first pitch here on this Tuesday. So the sun hanging in the sky, and it does primarily cause issues for the left side of the diamond here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, and the wind blowing into the yard from right to left. 1 ball and 1 strike on the DH, Luke Johnson. 1 for 1 with a single. He's got one of the 3 Wolves hits today. 1 and 2. Crabtree really cruising. Have not had a 1-2.
Fisher is calling for the review. Into foul territory, that right side of the bag. It ends up coming across. Fisher has to try and adjust and make that catch.
Well, Tony Vitello is quickly up out of the dugout to try and get another look, a challenge, review on this one.
Really, all that matters is did his foot stay on the bag when he had that ball?
Meeting of the minds right now. Matthew Bates, Sean White, Zach Neff, and Kevin Elzy, our 4-man crew today. Looks like he may have tapped the toe there and had possession right before Johnson got down the line.
I think you're right, Mayan. I think potentially, I don't know, it has to be, indisputable, so.
Right. And the call's overturned. So after a meeting of our 4-man crew, the call overturned, and it is the first 1-2-3 inning from either side. Thomas Crabtree season was the assistant for almost a decade under Skip Fight, and now his 6th year as the head man. West Georgia off to an 8-6 start here in 2025. It is the Wolves' first year as a Division I program. Members of the Atlantic Sun, where conference play starts against Queens here this weekend. Camden Diamonds back to work in the 4th. High fly ball to right, long run, and a catch made. Widener underneath it. Newstrom retired, 1 down.
I thought maybe that ball had a chance to get down, but Widener turns on the speed.
A long run for Landon Widener. The wind bringing that ball down to the ground a little quicker, blowing into the yard, but able to corral it. And so far, West Georgia out hitting Tennessee 3-2. The difference is the long ball, which Tennessee has had in punches this season, a nation-leading 50 home runs now. 2-1 lead here in the home 4th. Dalton Bargo is in an 0-2 hole. Really good fight out of this West Georgia team so far. Maybe just their 15th game as a Division I program, but they certainly have the depth to compete in the A-Sun this year.
100%. I mean, it's only the 4th, but what they've been able to do keeping these Tennessee bats at bay has been big time for them. And even if they end up, losing this game, it's something that they can look at and say, hey, we were able to do this. We can compete with anybody.
Margot stays alive. No balls, or 1 ball and 2 strikes. Margot walked his first time up. West Georgia started the year a series win against New Orleans. Another series win against the Bobcats of Ohio. They gave Georgia Tech a strong Yellow Jackets team. And as has been the blueprint, 2 outs in the inning, perhaps another arm coming in for the Wolves. Jeff Smith is out to talk to Diamond. No indication made quite yet.
May just be talking strategy here about what they want against Curley.
So it is Diamond's ball game. As the bullpen door swings back shut, top of the order, and Dean Curley. 0 for 1, been hit by a pitch as well. Diamond has retired all 3 batters he's faced. And he's got one of the preseason players of the year at the plate. Strike 1 on the breaking ball. No chase, a ball and a strike.
Barrel on this ball.
One on and 2 out here for Gavin Keelan. 0 for 2 in this one. As he takes ball 1. Keelan slugging over 1,000 this season. .463 hitter coming into the game as the everyday second baseman for Tennessee. 1-0 pitch. Hammered down the line. Hooking foul is foul. Keelan, first season in Knoxville, transferring in from Louisville, where he started almost every game at shortstop for the Cardinals last season. Third team All ACC, hitting .330, 9 home runs on the year. He's already got 8 through 16 games on Rocky Top. On the 1-1, Keelan takes ball 2. Driver's seat here, 3 balls and a strike.
Great count here for Keelan. Just got to be smart, which his numbers prove that he knows what to do in the box.
De facto shift up the middle. 3-1 is just outside. Pretty competitive pitch from Diamond, but a better take at the plate.
It was a competitive pitch. I mean, just a little too far off of that corner. Keelan seeing the ball well.
He draws his 17th walk of the season. That's second on the team. 2 on, 2 out for Ensley. Tennessee has not scored since the first. It's a team that scores often. Not too many empty frames out of this Volunteers offense.
Now, it's very uncharacteristic.
Yeah. They can erupt at any moment. The 0-1 pitch. Ball and a strike. Diamond got the final out of the third, retired the first 2 he faced here in the fourth. Then a single and a walk after that. 2 on, 2 out. 1-1 on the way. Ball and 2 strikes.
I will say, though, this inning, these hitters in particular have been very patient at the plate, waiting for their pitch.
They have main diamond work on the hill. Break-even offer. Fans 2 more. Ever meeting between Tennessee and West Georgia. 2-1 Vols in front thanks to a 2-run homer back in the first. West Georgia's lone run came across back in the top of the third inning. Lone clean inning today. Thomas Crabtree, a couple of strikeouts on 11 pitches. And moments away from retiring all 4 he's faced. Bargo, rifle across the diamond. Mason Cooper retired, 1 out in the 5th.
And this is the first time that we've seen a volunteer pitcher get a second opportunity. Does a good job of keeping these hitters off the bases with a few strikeouts and then getting a jam there. Tony Vitello obviously wanting to see a little bit more of Crabtree.
Jacob Bowman in an 0-2 hole. Crabtree, a strikeout specialist, had 8 of them coming into today. Already a pair of punch outs, looking for number 3. Won't get it, but it gets out number 2. Chapman there.
Crabtree making it look easy so far.
Now batting number 6, Cooper Prince.
This pitch gets skied over into right, but Chapman, one of my favorite outfielders to watch. I know he had a little bit of a bobble earlier today, but he's got some skills out there.
Top of the order, Cooper Prince takes the breaking ball for strike 1. Lone extra base hit for West Georgia belongs to Prince. He doubled and scored back in the 3rd, but that's bounced to second. Keelan takes care of it. How about a 7-pitch inning for Thomas Crabtree? 2-1 Tennessee in front. Great to have you along. Behind Vitello, Kaylin Arnold, our outstanding crew hanging out with you. New arm in for the Wolves. 4th pitcher of the afternoon, it's Gavin Mask, the junior out of Covington, Georgia, South Georgia State transfer. Mask making his 5th appearance of the season, 2-0. That is second on the team in wins. ERA, though, is over 8. He's given up 3 runs in 3 1/3 innings of work. 4 walks to 3 strikeouts. And his first pitch to Andrew Fisher, low and in, 4-1. 4, 5, and 6, heart of this Tennessee order that hasn't done a whole lot against a really stable West Georgia staff.
You're right, Maya, and they really haven't. They've been weirdly quiet. Normally we see this Tennessee team either having like really big innings or scoring multiple runs across.
So 5 pitches and 2 outs in the heart of this Tennessee order. Bags empty for Reese Chapman. 0 for 1 tonight, strikeout and a walk. Here's ball 1. Gavin Mask on the hill has not pitched in 10 days. They're just a 1/3 of an inning against Eastern Kentucky. His longest outing came back on February 23rd, 2 innings against Ohio. And as that fastball rides high, 2 balls and no strikes.
Both of these teams tied in hits, both with only 3.
Quickly 3-0 on Chapman. Tennessee has drawn 6 free passes tonight, 5 walks and a hit by pitch. Bunch of base runners for the Vols. They've stranded 7 of them so far. And Chapman aboard with a 2-out free pass here in the 5th.
And again, just very uncharacteristic. You never see Tennessee really leave runners on base. Normally they always get something going, passing the bat, hitting home runs, whatever it may be.
Tennessee yet to be retired in order offensively. No West Georgia arm has faced the minimum. Cannon Peebles stands in and takes strike one. Peebles 0 for 2 tonight. Ground out and a line out. Second season here in Knoxville after transferring in from NC State. One and one. Two balls and a strike. We'd love to see the breakdown at the end of the night. There have not been many fastballs offered from this West Georgia team.
No, and like I said, really just trying to keep these Tennessee hitters off balance, throwing a lot of movement pitches, a lot of breaking balls, some off-speed stuff.
There's the Cheddar, 2-2.
And I think, too, West Georgia just consistently rotating pitchers, not allowing the Tennessee lineup to get through multiple times, making them adjust with every single pitcher.
2-2 from Mask. Good pitch, just outside.
You can tell Mask wants that location. He's thrown it there multiple times now, just not going to get that call. A little too far off the plate.
Chapman not being held. He'll have an early start over at first. 3-2 with 2 out in the bottom of the 5th. Payoff pitch to Peebles. Ball 4 inside.
Tennessee is going to have to figure out how do we take advantage of these free passes. This pitch too far on the inside part of the plate. However, Cooper definitely wanted that.
A couple good offerings there from Mask with 2 strikes. Does not get the calls on the corners. And so there are 2 on now with 2 out in the inning. Meeting on the mound taking place here. Jabari Godfrey, one of the managers, out there to talk things over with the battery. Offer some words of encouragement. So 2 2-out walks, and Kalen feels like a big batter here in Chris Newstrom. This could either keep the game tight or begin one of those explosive Tennessee runs.
It really could, and we'll see, is Newstrom, is he able to do it himself, or is it going to be another walk and load the bases? Or a potential out here.
The freshman 0 for 2 tonight, strikeout and a flyout. First pitch is ball 1.
And the numbers definitely go his way, hitting .375 with runners in scoring position and .750 with 2 outs.
Wow.
Just got to see his pitch right now. Not seeing anything too good.
Ahead 2-0. Check at second. Chapman's there. Tennessee team that doesn't steal a ton of bases, 19-22 here to start the year. Just trying to make sure Chapman's not too comfortable and break up the look for Newstrom at the plate. Lone runs for the Vols came back in the first on an Andrew Fisher 2-run homer. The 2-0 here is ball 3. Should the inning continue, Dalton Bargo waits on deck with the top of the order after that. 3-0 to Newstrom.
Smart decision to take there. You got to make sure that pitch is perfect, and honestly, he probably doesn't have the green light to hit in this situation. Maybe not yet anyways.
Chapman on the move, and the count runs full. So the runners with a head start here. Back-to-back 2-out full counts. After falling behind 3-0, Mask has worked his way to 3-2. Trying to retire the freshman and strand a pair. Keep it a 1-run.
He's rolling here.
14th RBI of the season. Check that, 9th of the season for Chris Newstrom, the freshman. Maybe the one that opens the offensive floodgates. Still 2 out in the inning for Dalton Bargo in the 9 spot. And the backdoor breaker misses 1-0. Two balls and no strikes. Mask now falling behind in the count for the 4th straight batter. Trying to find the zone, get himself out of the inning. Tony Vitello hustling out of the dugout. Get that foul ball. Get some steps in for Coach V. All right, 2-1 here on Bargo. 2 on, 2 out in the home 5th. 2-run game. 3 balls and a strike. Hitch away from loading the bases. And 2 of the most powerful bats coming up in succession.
It's going to be vital for West Georgia here to try and get this out and get out of this inning.
Into right field. Widener there at the track, makes the catch. And the inning comes to an end. So Mask strands 2 aboard, but the Vols do score a run. Chris Newstrom with an RBI single. Newstrom, the freshman, puts Tennessee in front by 2, into the 6th. Thomas Crabtree back to work. He's been sensational. Set down all 6 he's faced, only 18 pitches here in relief. And on the 19th, he'll get his 7th out. McDivitt up the middle. And Curley takes care of business.
And with this being such a close game, it makes sense wanting to leave Crabtree in there. He's been incredibly efficient for the Volunteers. Not throwing a whole lot of pitches, getting outs easy, but also getting the strikeouts when needed.
Thomas Crabtree doesn't make the full 60-foot, 6-inch journey on that one, but the sophomore stellar so far. It's his best appearance of the season and his longest appearance of the season with that out recorded. Patrick McCullough takes the ball 2-0. McCullough 0 for 1, hit by a pitch. And an RBI ground out his last time. Drove home the lone Wolves run back in the 3rd. Pull side, Curley. 2 down.
Easy play over there for Curley, who not only is one of the greatest hitters in this lineup right now, but also such a good defender. He really showed out last season, his freshman year, what he could do at short, but also a little bit of third base as well.
Cool, calm Curley. The California kid settling in here in Knoxville. Strike one call to Carter Deerdorf. Deerdorf, the most pop in this order, leads the A-Sun, 10th in the country with 8th home runs this season. But he's been quiet tonight, 0 for 1. Strikeout and a walk. Incredibly efficient from Crabtree. And he gets a sword, nothing in 2. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two on, and Hunter Ensley takes ball 1. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. It's been a pretty tightly contested ball game. In the hands of Moore to try and keep it that way. Some early congestion for Tennessee on the base paths. Fouled away. One ball and 1 strike. Lights have been flipped on for a couple of innings here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Shadows creeping out over much of the diamond. Early Tuesday start. This ball game almost 2 hours old here. Nearing 6:30. The 1-1 will have to wait. Cooling off a little bit as the sun begins to disappear. Still a fantastic crowd out to support the defending national champions. Perfect 16-0 Tennessee, best start in program history. And the final game here before conference play begins. West Georgia gets Queens starting on Friday, and Tennessee welcomes the 6th-ranked Florida Gators to town for a mega matchup to start the SEC slate.
That will be a big-time matchup. We know how big that rivalry is between Tennessee and Florida. Florida coming in ranked at number 6, so got a pretty solid team. I'm sure this stadium is going to be packed to the max.
No doubt about it. Meeting between the Battery mates here. Only 2 unbeaten teams remain in college baseball. Tennessee 16-0, and then you've got the Florida State Seminoles, top 10 program in Tallahassee. They are 15-0, but they are playing Florida right now. Big midweek matchup down there in Tallahassee.
So Florida really got 2 of their biggest rivals back-to-back.
Yeah. Quite a week there for the Gators. That game scoreless in the 2nd right now. So by the end of the night, big possibility that Tennessee is the lone remaining unbeaten team in college baseball. 3 balls and a strike here on Ensley. 2 on, nobody out, and the bases are loaded.
Andrew Fisher, big moment here.
That may be it for Moore on the mound. Brian Gomez, a right-handed junior from Brooklyn, will try to quiet the storm. Transferring in from the State College of Florida, Gomez making appearance number 4 this season. 0 in relief, 0-1 ERAs. 14.4, 9 runs across in 5 innings, but he did have a scoreless 3-inning outing a couple weeks ago. Again, real catch of the night out in right field by Landon Widener, both coming against Andrew Fisher at the plate. What a day for the West Georgia right fielder defensively. Curley did tag and score. So officially a sac fly for Fisher, who picks up his 3rd RBI of the ball game. 4-1 Tennessee with runners on the corners. Keelan at 3rd, Ensley over at 1st. And the 0-1 to the freshman Levi Clark. Fouled back, 0-2. Clark 1 for 3 tonight, the reigning SEC co-freshman of the week. Trying to pad the 3-run lead. Well, the threat. The bases were loaded with